Howdy, folks. Welcome back. This is May 25th of 2022. There's no updated data for the 26th, but I didn't get a chance to cover yesterday what had happened here, and a lot going on. So I'll let the loop play here, and you can see we've had multiple CMEs. And this isn't all the data from this day. This is only showing 4 of the 5, and we'll go over to another satellite and I'll show you all 5 of them from another angle, because this satellite doesn't have all the data. But as you can see, and I'll pause it here and show you where we start off because it's kind of deceiving. All right, let's back up a few frames. So here we are, opening frame. This is May 25th, the 0100 hours right here, or 0100 hours, excuse me. And you can see our CME is already coming out from behind the occulter, our instruments reacting to it. And this one is just, it's a crazy looking structure in this CME. So I'm going to bring this over to you and zoom in real quick and just look at all these little bubbles out here, all these different divots, and then another bubble, this streak of plasma. It's just a weird, globule type structure there. So continue on here. Let me get a little bit bigger for you guys. Okay, then as we continue out, here's the next frame, and next frame here. And I'm going to pull this in and zoom in, because right here you can see our circular object right here. You can see the curvature on the backside. It's right here. There's some other plasma or like magnetic fields around this or something that are causing these bubble effects or whatever. But you can see we have a circular object hiding in the middle right in here. Okay. And as I pull back, I want to go over to this red side here and see if the camera can pick it up on this side. It's very faint, but it's right here, this black sphere right here, and you can see plasma's reaching out and touching the bottom of it. So here's the spheroid right here, and it's streaking plasma right behind it there. We'll pan over to this side so you can see it. Okay, here's our round object right here, and here's the plasma streaking out to it. Okay. Then we'll continue on here, a couple more frames. One of these. Okay, here you can continue to see this round object moving out. Okay, I'm going to back up a frame here or two because I want you to see over here on this red side what a kind of a beautiful image we have here. Here's our black round object. Part of it is covered with plasma right here. You can see this plasma came out, changed direction, and is arcing over this round spheroid object. You can also see plasma reaching out here to it, and this little streak right there. I'm trying to get a good shot for you guys so you can hopefully see this. Camera picking it up. Maybe if it's a little darker there, it helps. Okay, and you can see this dark mass, and part of it's obscured right here by the plasma and down below here. We'll swing it over to this side, and it's this round mass right in here that we're looking at. But that's just a beautiful shot right there, and a good example of how this plasma comes out and changes direction and arches and goes around it. Let's see if we can get that just a little bit. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So hopefully you can see this little arch right here that I'm talking about, how this plasma came out straight, changed direction, and then it's now curving over this spheroid-shaped object in the back. Okay. So let's pull back out of this one. Okay, move my hand out of the way, and then we'll proceed. So that's the first CME right there as it leaves the screen. Okay, Then following it is the second one down here. And let me try to pull over the red side too. You guys look at both sides as we move through this, because you can see it better on one side than you can the other sometimes. Then there was something hiding in here, in the core right down in here. Let me back up just a frame or two. Yeah, there it is right here. This little black thing was at the leading edge. Let's go right to there. We'll pull this up so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. Here was our little object at the very front end of it, causing the second CME down here, okay? And we'll pull back because we have a third CME starting up here, okay? And as we proceed through these are pretty good sized blasts. These look to be maybe M class or, you know, mid M class. I don't think any of these are X flare, but they could be. We'll find out when we get more data from this event. Now here, in this image, you can see we have something here. There's a small little object in the middle of it that seems to be the core, and this is its magnetic field or whatever. And maybe we go back a little bit. There we go. Let me blow this up real quick for you guys, because here's another beautiful shot of this thing coming out, and here's plasma attached to this object still streaking back. And you can see it also here curving around the bottom of this either magnetic field or whatever. And here in the background, these guys are shooting through there. Oh, let's get out of here. Boom. So there's an object right in there. And as we continue on, try to get you guys without waving lines or anything like that. Okay. So it's right in here as we move out past this, as we're going to progress through this here. Okay. Here we go. As this one comes out, that's the third CME right there. Okay. And a few more frames. Here we go. Here comes another CME, and look at this thing. This is different. Let's go back just a previous frame. I want you to see how dark and defined this little object, this patch is right here. Look how intense the plasma is all around it right here, but then there's this dark patch right here, and it's really sharp and defined. See if you can see it over on this side as well. The instrument reacting to it right here puts a divot in there, tells me that this is some kind of object right here, but it's not round. It seems to be almost saucer shaped, we'll say. Okay, so there's this thing coming out now, causing a CME. Let me get this just right for you guys. Okay, and watch on both sides as this comes out. Boom, boom. Now here, you can see this saucer shape that I'm talking about. It's like almost like the shape of an eye right here, with the top going over and one coming down below. And then here, you can really see how defined this edge is. Comes in, goes down below. There's a clear edge going across the top right there. The instrument's reacting to it, so that tells me that there's something there. It doesn't look round, it looks saucer shaped, and it's causing a CME. The instrument's reacting to it, and I believe we have more than just these round spheroid objects coming out of either coming out of the sun or bouncing off its magnetic field. But then as we proceed here, you'll see it move out of frame, and you can even kind of see this webbing of its look like magnetic field crisscrossing through here. I don't know if it's gonna pick it up very well, but anyway, it's just this little, looks like some kind of magnetic field that was behind this object. There apparently maybe be something up here trailing it as well. But so that was the fourth CME of the day. And then as we progress through this, just a little spurt and sputter, and then that's it for the data. It only went up to 1612 of 24 hours on this day, so we're missing some data of this day. But I went over to stereo A. Let's go over to stereo A here, and I'm going to put this into motion, but it shows it really fast, so we'll slow it down. Okay, we have slowed it down. There we go. Okay, so here we're going to kind of count these CMEs, and I'm going to have to do it frame by frame because it's just a little confusing. So let me get this just right for you guys. All right. Okay, let's boom, boom, boom. Okay, so here we are, May 25th. This is stereo A, the other satellite looking at the sun from kind of the side, not totally the side, but kind of the side. And it's already at 2:53:54. So this started a little late, but it captured our first CME. This is the first CME that we reported on. And up here, you can make out our object, this dark little core right here. And I'm going to move it backward and forward a little bit. And you'll see it just barely before it goes out of frame that there was an object right in there. All right. The object, the first one that we reported on is right there. So that's our first CME already underway, leaving the scene. Here's our second CME that we reported on down below here. And you can see as it moves out, there was something in it. We saw the little black core that was in that one. Here's our third CME coming out over here. Let's see. It looks like the camera's picking it up. This little dark object right here, all shrouded with a bunch of plasma. It's possible magnetic field or whatever, and this stuff draping around it. So there was the other object confirmed by the other satellite. So these two satellites are confirming each other. You're seeing the same objects captured by both satellites. Okay, so that was the third CME. All right, and then we'll progress further. As that one leaves the screen, you can see right here this dark little dot, and now we have this object streak through here. It never shows up on this side. It never shows up in a frame later. Usually it's a frame later or a frame before. Sometimes these are off sync, but this object never shows up streaking through here. But it did get captured over on this side. And let's just take a little look, because this appears to have a round spherical shape head to it, and it's streaking and it's leaving stuff behind it like these objects do. They streak through there and trail plasma, and the camera captured something over here. Okay, like I said, this red side never picked it up. Usually it does, but it didn't this time. So as we progress, that was our fourth CME. Oh no, that was the third. Here's the fourth one with the little saucer-shaped object in it. Let's go one back and zoom in, because this got a good shot of the shape of this object, just like kind of I showed you in the other angle. This side really doesn't show too much. It appears there's something spherical maybe out here in front of this, or this is the object actually, I'm sorry, but it just has this weird little shape on this side. Okay, and bear with me as we go forward here. So that's the fourth one, and you can see that object moving out. All right, then as we progress through this, here comes a fifth CME, you guys. 5 CMEs in one day. This is the missing data. We're now in the 19 territory, 1900 hours, where the other satellite left off at 16. So now we're getting to see the rest of this day from the other satellite. And I just want you to note, look how the CME is coming out. Here's our object right here, and it is casting a shadow, this V-shaped shadow as it comes out. Let me go one more frame here. Boom. All right, now you can see over here is our round object right here. It correlates with us right here, or it appears there's a darker one here and a smaller one back here as we go through this later. But this one is casting a shadow as it comes out. Let me back up a little bit. Go forward a little bit. See that shadow that it casts? And then as it moves on out of the screen, you can see that there was another secondary round object, it looks like, trailing. So back it up a little bit. See how it just creates this long shaft, this shadow? Even right as it comes out, there's the shadow. Boom. And you can even see plasma trailing off, these little wings kind of trailing off behind it here as it moves out. So that's the beginning of the first one. 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 CMEs in one day, you guys. A lot of activity going on the sun, and it seems to be these objects are captured all the time in these CMEs now. It's getting a little strange, and not just round spheroid, planetoid type objects. You saw that other one. It looks like a saucer-shaped object with some kind of magnetic field. It caused the CME. It was the instrument reacted to it. And let's go back real quick to this because, whoops, go forward here. And I want to pause on it just one more time. It was the 4th CME right here, this one coming out. Let's scooch over, back up a little bit, because I just want you to see here. Okay. Note how this plasma is going underneath the object. It's streaking and stretching out underneath it here very faintly. And then over on this side, you can barely see it. The instrument's kind of blocking most of it, but there's a very faint line underneath it. Let me go one more frame ahead because I want you to see how the plasma is silhouetting this object here in the middle. And it almost looks like it has a second stage where it comes up and then goes out. And it's a saucer with a smaller, rounder base at the bottom of it. Is what it looks like. I don't know. It's up to you guys to make up your own minds. I don't try to force anything, but I just tell you what I see and what appears to be going on here. And look at this. This is funny. I just realized this. Look how this plasma is streaking out, and this little thing is streaking in right here at the same time. Just odd shot is all. So we got things coming in, things streaking through, things coming out. Just a real busy day for the 25th. And there were 5 CMEs in that day. And let me just start this again. This shows you 4 of the 5. So all this activity, it still affects the planet. Even though these aren't Earth-facing, some of this plasma and gamma rays and X-rays and other stuff that's coming off the sun, it still comes our way, hits our magnetic field, gets directed to the poles, and charges the planet like a battery. And the planet's overcharging. It can only handle so much. So even if the sun doesn't die or whatever, all this extra energy and cosmic rays and stuff that are coming and bombarding us, some of them penetrating through our magnetic shields and stuff. So it still affects us. Even if they don't hit us directly, they still affect us. So there we go. It's been really busy. There was 5 in one day, and there's no data for today. This was yesterday's. And when the data comes out on tomorrow's, I saw a little glimpse, and it didn't look like there was much activity today. which is good because there's a whole week's worth in one day right here with 5 objects causing 5 CMEs in one day. So just had to bring that to you guys because this stuff is getting crazy and not being reported or recognized, and it's got, you know, ramifications, and people are wondering why we're having earthquakes and all these crazy weather and strange activity. Well, it's because of this activity here on the sun, and it's due to these objects yanking plasma off and stuff affecting our sun. So I have to bring this stuff to you. It tells me in the Bible to look for signs in the sun, and when I see them, I got to report them to you guys. So that's it for tonight. I love you all. I miss you all. God bless you all. And until my next video, bye.